Alan Burch from Lincoln High School. If Mr. Burch would come forward to tell you some good news about some outstanding leadership that we have at Lincoln High School and some of the neat programs that he has going on there. Mr. Burch.
Well, good evening, Mr. Chair and board members, Mr. Superintendent. Thank you for having me here tonight. With me in the far left corner, my assistant principal, Ms. Gregory, my dean of curriculum, Mr. Kerner, is with me, and I will have to say that we couldn't do it without them. They are tireless workers in the effort of keeping us #1 and making Lincoln the best it can possibly be. I have a lot to talk to you, but tonight, Dr. Pridgeon said I only have 3 minutes. I can't believe that's true, but
Don't believe it.
Now, wait a second. As the chair, my second order of business as my daughter goes to Lincoln is to give you as much time as you need.
thank you, sir. But tonight we're going to talk to you about something that we're very proud of and something that's new to Lincoln. It's our 9th grade transition program called Padilla. Is somebody up right there? You go. This is my second year at Lincoln, and early on we kind of recognized that our 9th graders coming to Lincoln made a struggle making that transition to high school from middle school. And being at some other high schools, 3 other high schools in my career, I saw that as a trend and nothing new. And in March, we had the Southern Regional Educational Board come out to Lincoln and do an evaluation of us just to give us a baseline of where we're performing. And they had the same recommendation that we needed to work on something with our 9th grade students. And so we created this 9th grade center. Some things that we put in place that we think are really powerful. We have a dedicated guidance counselor. So a guidance counselor just sees 9th grade students. We handpicked our teachers to move down and work with our 9th graders. And I've heard it from the board members over and over, and superintendent, the teacher is the most important part of education. And so we really knew that was an important piece of this. And then one thing that we did was we got away from the departmental design, science department, English department, math department, social studies, and moved those teachers to a common location to teach our 9th grade students. Really close to the front office, right near our forum, which is our cafeteria, close to parent pickup, somewhere where we can kind of keep an eye on them also during the day. And we've worked with to align a common curriculum in those 9th grade classes, so that kid in algebra class A is taking the same curriculum in algebra class B, and so on. The last thing we have is a dedicated space for our teachers to meet and talk, and I think that we've had some good things coming from it, and let me show you about those. Thus far, last year at this time, we had about 54% of our students who had 1 or more F, and that's embarrassing. This year, 10-11, we're down to 11%, and I want to see it get down around 5 to 8%. I think is something we can do. We also have made some really good gains in our Algebra 1 scores measured by our progress monitoring tool that Superintendent has brought to us this year. And we decreased our referral rates just in 9th grade alone by 52%. And I will have to brag on our entire discipline team there. They reduced it by about 40% school-wide last year. We're on a pace to cut it again in half. And so in 2 years, we went from about 2,800 referrals. We went down to about 1,700 last year, and I'm hoping to keep it down to around 1,000 this year. That's a lot of discipline actions, but we're making great strides in that, so I'm very proud of that. Improved communication between student and school. We've had every student meet with a guidance counselor thus far this year, and to do that before mid-year break, I think that's pretty powerful, especially with our 9th grade kids. And we've had the opportunity, because we're doing that, we're really trying to know our kids and having our teachers interact one-on-one with our children there in 9th grade. Any student who's struggling and receiving an F, they're going to get a parent contact by the guidance office and see if we can do something better with them and their classes. We have teachers, which is the most dynamic thing I think is happening at Lincoln right now. Our teachers are leading best practices. They are taking on themselves the idea of the shift to mastery over just the day-to-day one-way output of information. And so the example that I would explain to you would be something called test corrections, where our student takes a test, doesn't do as well as teacher thinks he should. They come back, they work outside of class time with that teacher, kind of get those concepts, reteach it, and give the student a chance to retake the test. And so, you know, that's getting outside the paradigm of high school, and I think that's we're really making good strides there. The other thing is the data director that we're using, and that's something that's available to all the schools in the county. Thank you, Superintendent, for bringing that software into us, and it allows us to download our kids' progress monitoring data, take a look at it. My team has really put some more effort in that. They've looked at students' grades per 9-week period and put those in also as with their name and their student number, so we can really quickly find our kids that are the most needy, or the strands of, for example, math is what this really focuses on, the strands that they're really struggling in specifically, so we could identify student and what their unique weakness is, so we can address it. So that's been really powerful for us, and it's helped get those conversations going between me, assistant principal, teacher, student, parent, and it's really opened the lines of communication for that. So that's been good for us. And then here's where we're at right now. Starting in January, we're going to really try to continue what we're doing, the positive things with it. We're implementing some pretty neat technologies that we have on hand right now. One of them, it's called Camtasia, and it allows our 9th grade, and we have it school-wide that we could use it, but we're really going to try to get it kicked off in 9th grade, where when a teacher presents the slide that they're projecting, their voice will be attached to that slide. They can capture that in a digital file and post it to their site. That night, mom and dad can open it, look at the slide, see the voice behind it, or listen to the voice behind it. So the kid misses something in a class, they can come back and catch it that night or in following days. Quizem are our handheld smart boards. We think it's just an economical way of, they're about 20% of the price of a smart board, and it puts it in the teacher's hand. They can walk around in the classroom, hand it to the kids, and do all those functions that a smart board would do. And then turn-in technologies that are the student response systems. And so we've really tried to bring some more of those in. That gives immediate feedback to the teacher on kids being involved in the class and knowing what's going on. And just to take it into next year, where we would move this, because I think there are a lot of good things coming from it. We're trying to move into a day that we have reduced variance across our 9th grade students and across what they're exposed to. So we're talking about doing common test days and homework days, so the kids know in math that I'm testing on Tuesday, example. And I know my math teachers are hearing this and they're going crazy. I hate Tuesdays. That's not true, math teachers. We'll talk about that. But there will be common test days. We're hoping to do that, and common homework days, just to simplify it for the kids, and they know exactly what's coming on what day. A common discipline plan and common sets of expectations detailed on the board, detailed on the websites for students. All of this just to increase the readiness of our kids and the involvement and the participation in our AP classes. And of course the way that they perform on all of our standardized tests. So that's where we're at with this program. I think it's been very successful. This far, certainly not, this is certainly not the probably standard, but we did look around. We've plucked out the best research available on this concept, and I think it's been good for our kids. So I thank you guys for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Birch. Board members, Superintendent Pons.